No!
Yeah.
No!
None of that recorded.
No!
Yeah. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode numero 3. What the fuck was that? Just tell off everybody while we're here. With me is gonna be the lovely, gorgeous Mr. Chago Garza.
How you doing?
Looking beautiful and rested. Which I don't think that's true at all. No. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, sir.
So you're what, like 15 now?
Yeah, man. It's been great. I sprouted some new hairs. I got like this one really long hair on my chin.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I had that. I had to like pluck it out a little bit.
Yeah, my hormones are going crazy. My feet stink. It's fucking like my armpits. Holy shit.
I remember when that first happened to me.
Yeah.
You just go to health class and you'll be good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still have that, but
I think I have to get my mom to sign like a permission slip now or something so I could, hear some of those certain words and images.
Yeah, it's big language. Well, I mean, when I took health, it was about as PG as you can get. I think we only covered we didn't even cover like reproductive organs. We just covered like regular health organs like your heart.
Are we really gonna have this?
No, just saying.
Because I'm down.
So that's what I mean. So am I. If we're gonna go there, we'll go there.
We're taking
a slight detour.
Yeah. So like what so you went over reproductive organs?
No, we did not. When I was in health, we went over like, hey, don't be fat because you'll die. Sure. And then we went, but you can also be fat and be healthy. Only because you're overweight does not mean that you're necessarily unhealthy.
Okay, so
that's what my health class was about.
I think I had two of them technically. So like in 6th grade, when I was in 6th grade, we had PE. That was my first class.
I don't think that counts though.
Well, hold on. So like we would go through like there would be like a week or two of classroom, and then there'd be like a week of applying whatever you
learned.
Yeah, whatever we learned, sports wise. And then there were other classes where we would have like some kind of a health class or a class on like, let's say, drugs or something like that, stimulants and barbiturates.
I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
So in one of those classes, sex was brought up and or sex education, but it was more geared towards like puberty and acne and your voice cracking and stuff like that. Puberty, and it wasn't like. It didn't go over like reproduction and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was just a very, very, hey, these are drugs. Don't do them. This is bad. Cigarettes, and they up your blood pressure. Those were those classes, and then we would have classes on like football, and then we'd learn the rules, and then we'd go out and apply.
Yeah, what you learned.
Yeah.
So that was you. You said 6th grade.
That was 6th grade.
Okay, I had something similar to that. But when I was in elementary, we had our PE class. I remember we had like an actual classroom. Mm-hmm. It was like a portable or something.
Yeah.
And they would show us videos about drugs, like, hey, don't do drugs, don't smoke, and stuff like that. But that was it. Like, we never went over sports stuff. We never went over like reproduction stuff. It was just purely don't do drugs, or hey, go outside and run for an hour because we don't know what your kids need to do. Kind of just tire you out.
Okay.
But that was the only time. Then after that, PE classes were just go outside and run.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, like before that, like before 6th grade, that's what it was. Like, you just, we'd go through our classes, math, reading, writing, science, social studies, whatever. And then like, for me, my last class was PE, and then we'd break out for the day or whatever. But yeah, it was basically like that where you just, all right, jumping jacks and, sit-ups and all these other random, okay, let's go play kickball. And then once we got to 6th grade, that's when I guess health or PE
actually
went
kicked
up.
in.
Yeah, so it was I remember when the coach said, all right guys, I think it was like week 2 of my 6th grade year, and all all right, guys, start bringing your gym bags and bring a change of clothes and bring some deodorant and some body wash and stuff like that because we're going to start exercising and we can't have you guys going to class all smelly and stinky and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking like, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
we're going to be in the showers. You know what I mean?
I remember that exact same feeling. When I was in middle school too, they were like, hey, you guys. But with us, it was you don't have to. With us, you have the option to. Because I think what they ended up doing was that they put PE. I don't know if it was for everybody, but at least when I remember PE was always the last class.
Okay.
And I guess that's the reason why. So that way, if you were all stinky, you would just go home and that was it.
Well, this was like the first period, class that we had.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for me, that was the way my schedule was. First period for me was PE, and you're talking like this. Huge
it was a huge thing for me.
We're gonna shower.
I remember.
You see those movies and you like Porky's and all that other stuff, and you're just like, what's gonna happen? And then and then you're just kind of like super scared. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one that felt like some kind of way about it. Like like what?
Well, I don't know if it happened with you, but with us was that everybody would go shower in their underwear. And there was this one dude who would not, and he was like the one guy that did not give a fuck. Yeah. Like he was just like all nonchalant and shit. Like you know that's the guy that walks around in his house in his underwear all the fucking time. That's why that guy did not give two shits.
No, okay, well yeah, man. I remember, I think we played dodgeball, man, and it was a Monday, and you're talking this. I mean, super, super nervousness, all of us showed up with our gym bags, and all that stuff. And then we break out and, we go back and we start changing. And the coach is like, all right, guys, showers are over there in the back. And you're talking this giant hallway that
Was it at Ringgold or was
it was at Ringgold.
The old gym.
The old gym.
I got to go
the wrestling match. I haven't seen it like in a very long time.
Yeah, since same here. Since I was there.
90 early
whatever. 2000s for me.
Okay, maybe it's changed, maybe it hasn't, but I remember thinking like this is enormous, and there's no stalls.
Nope.
And it's just all shower heads, and
it's literally like in the movies. There's a white room with just shower heads all around, and that's it.
And I remember myself and all of us, we were just all like. All right, man. Like,
tu primero, ya me cubro.
Everybody's just real like, and then we'd bolt, And
see, I remember that water being really cold.
Yeah,
like I remember that's the one thing from that shower why I hated it the most. Besides, being in front of everybody else, was that it was super cold, and I'm gonna be there as short amount of time as possible.
There was
I hated it.
Yeah, it was cold, man, and at least I didn't stick around long enough to find out if it got hot.
They got
or whatever.
Like boilers and stuff.
I really don't think it did. I
doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
I doubt it.
Maybe they turned it on during the winter or something like that. But I mean, I don't remember it. But. Eventually, I remember one of the coaches was like, hey, it's okay. We all have the same thing, guys. It's all right. Just go ahead and
just don't pay it any mind.
I remember one of them, one of the coaches was just standing in front, just looking at all of us, just like, in
your shame.
Yeah. and it was a trip, man. And that was, and I mean, I guess you kind of, after like 2 or 3 times or whatever, you get used to it, and it's just kind of like you just kind of go with it. Although there were a few that like you said that would shower with their underwear on or shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'd change in the stalls or whatever, but it is what it is, and that was 6th grade. And then
because for me high school was different than middle school.
So when I got to that was 6th grade. When I got to 7th or 8th grade, junior high, we had a legit health class, and that was that was an entire period.
We did it. I didn't have that until high school.
Okay, no, well, yeah, no, we had that during junior high, and teacher was real cool.
Wait, God, I'm trying to no. I had that in middle school. Yeah, it was a legit class.
Middle school or junior high?
And I called 6, 7, and 8 3 middle school.
Okay, I guess that would technically be junior.
And I think it was
whatever. There's so many.
No. I was in high school.
Yeah, because I think.
No, it was a high school class. I think it was like a freshman at the time. Then never mind. Yeah, no, it was in high school, not middle school.
So yeah, man, like in that class, that's where they went into detail about sexual organs and puberty and hormones and fucking acne and can I curse?
I mean, we've been cursing since like episode 1.
We'll add the ducks. So, you know, that's when it got hardcore into hell, man. And they would show us videos and stuff like that, and
we never had that.
There was the infamous video where they finally showed, you know, intercourse and stuff like that. And you know, they gave out condoms and stuff, and
we definitely did not have that.
That wasn't in that. No, that was later on in high school. But yeah, they showed a video, and it was the actual act of, you know,
mating, coitus.
Yeah. But it was very, very it wasn't like regular video. It was in like heat vision. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it was
like the red and dark
like,
blue kind of thing.
Yeah, and
I just want to make sure there was like no actual nudity.
Yeah. But like, you know, it was narrated and like the male
inserts.
You know, but then, you know, his penis becomes engorged and the female's breasts, you know, they swell and her lips, you know, and blah blah blah, you know, arousal and we're just all like you know, real yeah dijo arousy, you know, whatever. But that was, you know, we were immature, you know what I mean?
You were
I'm pretty sure you've seen that meme of Shaq where it says turn to page 78 and it's a picture of titties.
Yes. Okay, I remember having that.
We need to put that somewhere, like here. Like that one has to be like one of my favorite memes. But yeah, like, you know, that was us. You know, that was me. You know, a little immature and stuff like that, and. You know, that was that class. So I technically had 2 classes on health and PE and all that stuff, and one of them was a little more physical and the other one was more class.
We had one presentation, and I think it was like in 8th grade, and they're like, hey, you know, everybody show up to the gym, and then they took out the TV and they're playing like a video, I guess, but I don't even remember the video. I don't think I was paying attention, and I think they passed out condoms.
Okay.
But you had to give them back. Like, it was one condom just so you can see what it looked like. And, you know, everybody passed it around. And they didn't leave until they made sure that they had all of them back. But then that was about it when it came to health class until I reached high school. That I had an actual health class. But it only went over, like, don't eat this. You know, stay active. Your hormones will act up. But there was no intercourse. Nothing like that. Except for one presentation we had in the library. And it was only over STDs. Okay. Like, it was just like an hour-long video of every possible STD you could get. And then, like, those random freshmen in the back going like, oh!
Yeah.
And then the one chick in the front going, grow up already! So, that was it for us. Because they were super, like, hush-hush. Don't talk about sex when I was around. I guess they were more liberal with you guys.
I don't know if
I think they passed out condoms with you guys. They made us give them back.
Yeah, no, like, I don't know if you said liberal with us?
Yeah, like they were more open with it.
Yeah, they were fucking like.
Yeah, because with us they were like, we don't talk about it. This is what it looks like. Don't do it. Give it back to us.
Yeah, no,
kind of thing.
This was like, I think I want to say that I'm pretty sure that. You know, if you didn't want to be in that class, they would probably give you the option
to bug out.
Yeah, to bug out, you know, or for certain subjects. But I mean, I don't know. I for me, that's the way it was, and that's how it went. And I mean,
It was what it was. See, no, the one weird thing that I did, and I found out by accident when I was in high school, because I was student 8, I guess, because I had like an open slot and I couldn't just be wandering the hall. So then I go to the nurse's office.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, they would actually sell condoms in the nurse's office.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys had that, because I didn't even know we had it until like I was actually working there, and there was like a little paper that said condoms like 25 cents or some shit. But nobody ever went for them. At least not when I was there.
So like, I wasn't that like how can I say this without sounding too lame?
You weren't active.
Yeah, like
I mean, yeah, no, it was like to me, it was high school.
Yeah, I oh fuck it, yeah, I wasn't active at all. Like I was
doing other retarded
things.
things.
Doing other.
Yeah,
like
I was being a teenager.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Not a modern day teenager though.
I don't know what the difference is, but
you need to have a kid by like 18.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't doing that. And if I'm pretty sure it was there. It was available because I remember like Planned Parenthood would show up and
yeah, we never had that.
Yeah, they would, they would have like awareness and stuff like that. And yeah, like you said, that's actually a thing that they talked about. About STDs and
well, they're STIs now. They dropped the D. It's no longer disease, now it's an infection. Because STDs you can cure. STIs you cannot. Or something like that. I learned it in my psychology class. Yeah, because most of them are like bacterial based and stuff like that. So they're considered STIs because they're infections. But things like I think HIV and herpes fall under something else. Because those are actual viruses.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, I guess that I can...
Yeah, it blew my mind too. I was like, why are you calling STIs? And you guys are saying it wrong. It's STDs. And they're like, well, technically, no.
Whoa. God, you're getting it all wrong, bro.
pretty much. I was like,
pues
me pudro.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's news to me. But, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that those services were available.
Just had to go ask.
Yeah, you just had to go and ask, and I'm pretty sure maybe in the comments if people want to leave. Or,
tell us how it was like for you in high school, because we're what, almost 10 years apart when it came to graduating.
Yeah, so I just turned 35,
and I'm about to turn 27 in a couple of days.
Yeah, so I mean, there's however it was for you. If you want to share it, by all means.
Yeah, so we can have a good laugh. Maybe we'll mention it in the next episode or something.
Yeah, or if you want to ask us a question about it or something like that, like, hey, did you do this or did you do that? By all means. But I mean, that's what it was. That's what that was like for me growing up, and that's the way it was. I don't think I matured until like way.
I didn't mature until after high school. Like I know for a fact I did not mature until after high school.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
And even then, that can probably still be argued.
Uses the term adult loosely.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, man. I mean that's the way it was, and like you said, you I was too busy
doing teenage
stuff. Yeah, I mean, drinking. Stuff that I should not be doing. Yeah, like
going to my friend's house at like 1 a.m.
Yeah. I think you would hang out with us too.
Yeah, I was already hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, like
12,
5 in the morning or something like
the
that?
weekends was like 4 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning.
Right. I thought that was like a school night or something.
No, I think on school nights I would be back by like 12 or 1.
Okay.
And just because I had to be in school the following day.
Yeah, like for us, we'd be out and about and, we'd be hanging out. It was a school night. There were days where I would just not go to school.
I wish I could do that. My mom would like whip my ass and be like, "Nah, son, you're going to school."
Yeah, it was a ride, man, and we were doing stuff that teenagers do, and I believe we were supposed to be talking about like drinking and stuff like that, and
yeah,
so like that was one of the points that we were going to talk about, and it's a nice
little segue to it.
Yeah,
unintentional segue into it. Speaking of drinking, I actually did not start drinking until I was hanging out with, like, I guess your crowd, because they were the older people. Yeah, like because the people that would
make me feel bad.
No, because the people that I would hang out with wouldn't drink. Like Doug still doesn't drink.
Well, he's had a drinker.
Like in his entire life, in his entire like almost 30-year existence, he had like 2 beers or something. Yeah, but like nobody else would really drink until I started hanging out with like my older friends. Because I always had that. I always hanged out with older people, never really hanged out with anybody my age.
I remember, so I was a sophomore when I met, friends that were into the same stuff that I was into. And by that I mean like music and playing music and heavy metal and
Slayer.
stuff like that. Yeah.
I can see the shirt.
I remember those dudes, they would hang out and party drink and party. And
I never partied.
I was a sophomore, they were freshmen, and I would hear their stories, and I was real straight edge, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't do that. Hey, and if that's what they wanted to do, I wasn't judging them. You know what I mean? I didn't care. We used to hang out, we used to jam, and one of the guys had like this giant bottle of Jack Daniels, and trying to live that lifestyle. We're into heavy metal and Slayer, and you need a drink, and
we're the new alcoholic kind of thing.
Yeah, Pantera. And then eventually, I mean, it wasn't until like my senior year when I was like 17 that I had my first alcoholic beverage.
I think I was like 20 or 19 when I actually started drinking beer.
I was real goody two shoes, man.
Like,
not goody two shoes.
I would drink like 1 or 2 beers and that was it. But it wasn't until I was like maybe early 20s when I was like, hey, I'm gonna buy a 6-pack and drink it, even though I technically couldn't.
Yeah, so we're not saying go out and drink underage.
Which don't. Yeah, no.
It's a total disclaimer. That's just what we did, I guess. And I was 17 and we took a break from practice. We were trying to write some music, and we went to this store that I'm pretty sure everybody knows around here.
Is it the one that I don't want to say the name out loud, but
it's close by.
Yeah.
It's here off of
the one by the school.
Yes, that one.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a store that would sell
really famous
store. A good buddy of mine who still, I still keep in touch with, his parents own it.
They expanded it too. They have more stores now.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that they've changed their ways, but back then, they were just, hey, you want this, or can I get a 6-pack of that? Yeah. And then what did
the reason why I knew about that place was because that's where I used to buy my cigarettes from, because that was the only place that would sell singles.
Yeah.
No other place would sell single cigarettes.
I remember.
And I think they were like 25-cent singles or 50-cent singles, and it's like, hey, can I get a smoke? And
what did I get that? And then open up the pack, yeah.
And it wouldn't charge you taxes. That's the only cool thing about it. That was the only other place that would not charge you tax.
I remember. Yeah, and I remember going in my friend's car. It was a whole group of us, and they asked for a 6-pack of
Smirnoff.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Smirnoff or Zimas. I think.
Or what? I don't even know what a Zima is, dude. It sounds like a drug.
Wow, I'm that fucking old. Yeah, so
well, I'm kind of lame.
Just put up like a picture of them here, a 6-pack or something like that. But they were like, I guess they were the malt liquor beverages before Smirnoff, among other ones like UFOs and stuff like that.
Wait, you mean like Four Locos is used to be, or you mean like
Four Locos is still around?
Yeah, that's what but the original formula changed. Like the original formula was messed up. So it was like that then.
I got to. So it's not that it was like that or that it was heavy. It's just this was
the go-to drink then.
Yeah, before Smirnoff came around.
Oh, okay.
There were Zimas, and then there were Smirnoff. I think it was just the red one.
So they were like wine coolers.
And then there was wine coolers too. Yeah. They had a really weird bottle shape.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, wine coolers. MD 2020s, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so we grabbed a 6-pack or like 2 6-packs. I think we got the red iced Smirnoff Ice, and a 6-pack of Zimas, and we went and we drove around and we found this one spot in the middle of nowhere. It was an abandoned house in the middle of nowhere.
That's always good.
Straight up, dude. So I can't take you there anymore, but I could drive you, because now they made that new drive.
The new street
that goes around.
Yeah.
And I can. So the house is still there.
Oh.
I could literally point to you like that's where it is. So I think somebody moved into that house, but back then, it was just deserted, and we just I don't know what compelled us to stop there, but we did, and it was abandoned. There was a table. There was like what
I'm imagining an old mattress just there.
Yes. Yes.
God, dude,
yes.
It's like a crack house.
So like the size of this room,
which is not very big.
Yeah, which is it's a decent size, but maybe like another 15 feet that way. That was the house. It was super tiny. Yeah, it was tiny, and but for us it was
perfect.
Fuck it, yeah. Like let's and we just stopped and we started drinking. There was another house maybe about 20-25 yards down the road. That one was abandoned as well.
I never had the balls to do that, dude. That was too much of a little bitch.
Yeah, we went and we explored it. It was, and we didn't care. There was a group of us, so if something wanted to come out and stuff like that,
take all of you on.
Yeah, there was a whole. Not that I'm saying that we were badasses or anything like
but
that.
It's that group mentality.
Yeah, but we had and especially at that age, we were basically
untouchable.
Yeah, we were invincible. We had that invincibility mentality going on, but. Yeah, we stopped, and I remember the guys like, yeah, bro, have a beer. And I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Peer pressure, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful peer pressure.
And I'm just like, oh, man, here we fucking go. Shit. And...
perfect sound effect. You picked it up just right.
Oh, it tastes horrible. What is it? It tasted horrible. Well, I mean, compared to like beer, this was bearable, but it
It still if you weren't used to it, it's still gonna mess with you.
Yeah, and then
if you're not used to drinking, if you have a Smirnoff or like a screwdriver, it's still you're gonna be like, this tastes too much like alcohol.
So like, I remember thinking to myself, hey, this isn't that bad, and the guys are all getting down, and I am too. You know what I mean? I think I had like 2 or 1 3/4 or something like that. Like I didn't finish it, but I definitely babied it. But I drew it out and just enough for the guys to finish, and I was like, oh yeah,
for them to not give you more.
I'm totally done, And then we took off and we went back to practice to writing music. And after that, I was just like, well, I had some beers and I didn't get drunk. And then after that, it was just like, maybe I could try it some more.
Yeah. Hey, it's starting to taste less terrible.
Yes.
Because I remember that was a big thing for me, the taste.
Yeah.
I hated the taste of beer. It took me like...
Call me what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beer tastes...
It tastes gross. It took me a while to get used to the flavor, and now it's kind of like... You know what?
I can see why.
I can see why.
Yeah. I can see why people drink this.
Let's do a real quick stop.
Sure.
And then we'll pick up from there. Alright, so we're back after some minor... technical difficulties.
I hope you enjoyed the montage of whatever we put.
Yeah, for those last like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Or so.
Whatever it was that Taco decided to pick.
But the important thing is that we have the audio, and we didn't lose the entire footage. Just a little bit of that footage.
Yeah, because my heart sank when.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw that I wasn't recording, I was like, I don't want to do this again because it's not gonna come out the same. Especially because there's such a natural flow to it, too. Yeah.
Speaking of natural flows.
Back to our interesting alcoholic stories, I guess.
Sure.
Unless, what do you mean by natural flows?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. I was like, kind of threw me off. That's the first time I hear that when it comes to drinking. So I started drinking, kind of youngish too. Well, late for our community, I guess, but young when it comes to like, hey, you shouldn't be drinking till you're 21. But yeah, like beer was something that I had to get really, really used to because I hated the taste of beer. It was like maybe like 1 or 2 beers and that was it at most, because it I don't know, like it just tasted like the most disgusting thing in the world, and I was like, how can people drink this? And then when I started hanging out with I guess the older crowd, which is like more your people, I went from drinking like 2 beers to being able to drink like a 12-pack by myself. And
yeah, man.
Because do you remember that when we used to hang out at the garage and we would jam out?
Yeah.
Super loud.
Yeah.
It would be like what 1 a.m. The next door neighbor was a cop, and never told us anything.
Yeah.
Either they really liked your metal, or they just did not care.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I mean, we used to do the same thing, man. You know, but luckily, you know, we used to practice where I'm pretty sure you remember Los Gallitos.
The group?
Yeah.
Okay, my old manager was with them.
Who? Baldo?
Baldo, yeah.
Huh? Well, okay. Well, we used to practice where they would rehearse, and they had this big giant garage. It used to be a like a mechanic shop that they converted over to
that's cool.
to a rehearsal space, and it was soundproofed, and you know it was perfect to practice at late hours at night. It was soundproofed and everything, and you know they had these big giant speakers for us to come out of and stuff like that, and the drums sounded real good. Everything sounded great. So we lucked out, but there were other times where you know we'd go off to a ranch and we'd practice out there and make all the noise we wanted. I don't remember having too much trouble. Then again, we weren't really bad either. Curfew came around at 10 o'clock.
You booked it?
Yeah, we would stop. Yeah, and you know we just kind of chill out and hang out the rest of the time, and you know that's what it was. What really got us in trouble, not got us in trouble, but where we made the most chaos was practicing in the mornings.
Oh,
because we used to practice. We used to. I mean, music was life. You know, for us, like we wanted that. You know, just practice, practice.
Yeah,
you know, and write music and do this. And
you lived it, breathed it, ate it,
drank it. You know, when we used to wake up. You know, 11:30. You know, it was a Saturday morning. You know, sometimes even earlier, and we'd show up and we'd start making noise. We'd wake up the neighborhood, and
I remember doing that.
This was at my friend's house. And we used to just practice out in the open, at least in the mornings. And man, we used to. I remember the neighbor, one of the next door neighbors. She would come out,
tell you off.
Yeah, and they had a car parked in the back. It was like I guess it was a vehicle that they were working on or something like that. But she used to come out and she used to just hit the horn, dude. She would hit the horn, trying to like drown us out.
You're loud, but I'm louder, kind of thing.
Yep. And you know, my old buddy on drums, he would hit hard. You know, we just didn't care.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We had something similar. We used to hang out at another friend's house, who lives by the side of the highway. And next to his house was a Fred Loya. It was the insurance place.
Yeah.
So we would hang out and would play at his place, which is out in the open. It got to the point where you would see the lady, like the insurance agent or whatever, being the window, like boom, 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 just hitting the window, like shut up, and we like what? Que le suba?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. It was we're bad, but I remember doing that. And like the more they would tell you to shut up, the louder you wanted to play.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, that's the way it was, and then, you know, that was how we would do it, and that's when we would get in trouble. It wasn't so much at night. At night we were a little more cautious about it because I mean we didn't want to disturb anybody. But if it was during the day,
it's for a game.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And one neighbor actually walked out and confronted us, but I mean she came out and she had this fucking face like she was gonna like.
She was a Karen.
She was about to be. She comes out and she was in pajamas and, you know, looked like she had been out partying the night before. And I turn around and she's, like I said, she's going to tell us off. And, you know, drummer's like, hey, dude, you know, we got somebody incoming. I turn around. Hey, Leah. You know, like, you know, well, it doesn't matter. It was my cousin.
Ah,
it was my cousin.
Nice.
And she just kind of looked over at me and she's like, Chaguito,
bájale poquito,
bájale un poquito, por favor. I'm like, I'm so sorry. No, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. And then she left and we just all turned around and looked at each other like, oh,
Está de buena.
Yeah, we just got lucky, you know. Like I thought she was gonna. Well, I guess the guys thought, and she probably would have.
Just tore you a new one.
Yeah, she would have. But as soon as she saw me and we recognized each other, it was like, hey.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I hate that it's you.
Yeah, like there it goes. Like I can't. And she went back inside.
See, I don't know if this would happen to you, but I'm not very bright, right? So when I get when I'm under the influence of anything whatsoever, no matter what it is, I cannot function properly. So there was a handful of times where I tried drinking and playing guitar, and it was just bad. I think the worst one that I had was we were jamming out at my old drummer's house, and I had been drinking, and we were playing Enter Sandman, and halfway down the song I forgot what song we were playing. But since it's Metallica, I was just hitting the opening. I was just like chun 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 chun.
It's not a bad move.
Yeah, and then the guitar player, he stares at me and he's like, "Are you?" And I was like, and then he does the whole walk over me like this riff, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now I know where I'm at." But I just cannot function, dude. Yeah. And the last time I did that, it was for a party that we had at Georgie's.
Okay.
I think it was for his birthday or something like that.
Cool.
And I think it was the last time that I performed too. And we had it was a party, so we had been drinking all night, and I think that's the only time that I was able to play while drunk at the same time. But I'm pretty sure it sounded sloppy as could be, just because my brain isn't wired for that. My brain is you're gonna do one thing, y tiene que te fue bien, kind of thing. Be lucky that you can walk and breathe at the same time.
I had the same problem where when I would drink, my fingertips would go numb. So
yes,
a good example to use is let's say you're playing Enter Sandman, that slide.
Yeah.
My fingers would go numb and I would overshoot it, and I would end up on F or F sharp or something like that.
So it sounded slightly off.
Instead of on the E. And that was my biggest problem. And then if I would move on to the jun, I knew where it was. I could see it.
But you couldn't feel it?
But yeah, I couldn't, or not so much, and not just even looking at it. I knew where it was, but it's just my hand was loose.
Yeah.
So I would just kind of not that it would flop, but it was just a little harder for me to stop on that F sharp, G, F sharp, E, whatever. And eventually I got used to it though, or my tolerance just kind of went up a little bit.
I think it was the tolerance.
Maybe. And I was able to work past that. But eventually I got to the point where, man, dude, there were times when I was just plastered.
I could not do that with single notes. When it came to guitar solos, I would just completely mess them up.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm thinking about the time that we played the garage. That one specific time they were playing extremely loud and we were extremely drunk, and I think it was just 3 of us that were drinking that day, and we were playing. I think we played the entire
Master of Puppets album.
Yeah, the entire Master of Puppets album back to back, because you knew the songs that I didn't know, which I think it was God, I can't remember what the songs Leopard Messiah I think was one of them, and. There was half of the album songs that I didn't know you played for me, because we're just jamming out. But now that I think about it, I can do rhythm. I just cannot do single notes. That is, my hand just goes noodle, and I cannot hit a note to save my life. It's kind of
Yeah, I just maybe the tolerance went up, or maybe I got used to it, or I adjusted to playing that way. I don't do that as often, so I don't maybe I'll just turn into that player again. But I remember the first couple times mixing guitar playing and alcohol was just
not a good combination.
It's not a good idea, dude. We're about to go on stage or whatever, and eventually it just got to the point where I need to have a shot to get on stage. Hey, there's a lot of people here tonight.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just needed to take the edge off or whatever. And then there were other times where it was like, all right, man, Pantera, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, Satan, that kind of thing. And it was fun.
See, I had a weird evolution with my drinking because I started, hating beer. Then I would drink a bunch of beer. Then I stopped drinking beer and went towards liquor because, I wanted to be fancy like that. And tequila has a special effect with me. And that's the reason why I don't drink it, because you know how they say different liquors bring out different personalities?
Sure.
Tequila makes me super narcissistic, like as can be. And one time, it was actually for my birthday. It's maybe like 5-6 years ago, because I don't really drink anymore. A good buddy of mine brought me 4 bottles for my birthday, because he was a piliner.
Pinche madre.
Yeah, so he had the money. So he bought me a bottle of Jack, bottle of Jaeger, a bottle of this purple thing that looked like it had glitter in it, like it was purple with like silver. I still have the bottle, actually. I never finished it. And I think it was like a bottle of Crown, and it was just 2 of us. So we finished the bottle of Crown. We went halfway down the bottle of Jack Daniels, and I think we drank maybe like a quarter, a little bit more than a quarter from the Jaeger, and we messed with that purple one too. So we were plastered. And that has been that was the first time that I ever got blacked out drunk. Like, I had never in my life had that. Like, I just remember taking a shot, and then next thing I know, it's 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning. I'm waking up in my front yard. Oh. Like, I'm just like getting up because I hear a car turn on, and it's my mom leaving for work. And I'm like, what the hell? And then like I turn, I see my mom's rose bush, and apparently I throw up all over that. So like I grabbed the hose and I hosed it down a bit so that my mom wouldn't get after me. Then I'd come towards the side, and where the white columpios at, my buddy's asleep there. Like he just knocked out there. And then I walk into the house all shameful and shit, and my older sister sees me, and she's like,
¿Ves?
Huh?
¿Ves? ¿Querías tomar?
Sí, no, hombre. She's like, Ricardo, estás bien pendejo. Tú vives aquí. Tienes una cama. Y te dormiste en el patio. Like why? Like, you have a bed. And I was like, I don't even remember going to the front yard. Yeah. Like, if we're going to be completely honest. And I asked my buddy, I was like, dude, what's the last thing you remember? And he's like, the last thing I remember is you rambling on about something, doing this, stopping, and then you just left to the front and never came back. And then I just fell asleep on the columpio. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should watch my drinking from now on. And then I think there was like one other time after that I got really drunk, but it was with family. So that one doesn't really count, because it was with my primos and stuff. But that was like the last major drinking event that I did. After that, it was like, hey, you know what? I need to start cutting down it. And now I drink maybe like 1 or 2 beers a month. But it's like the Moflick ones.
Yeah. Now you make it count?
Yeah.
No, dude. Like, for talking about stories, like, yeah, I used to get like to the point where like I would call mom and like, Mom, I think I'm gonna die. I love you, and like it was, but at that time, I wasn't even anywhere near close to home, going to bed inside of a, it was ugly, dude. Like, being on the road and sleeping in this, little bunk bed, and you're just moving and you wake up and there's a thing, you're just like, oh shit, you know what I mean, and yeah, just not cool. But yeah, I remember the first time I got the spins.
Oh, put your foot down.
Well, I didn't know any better.
Yeah, neither did I until they told me later on. Put your foot on the ground and it goes away.
Yeah, I had both feet on the ground, dude. I was sitting down.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Like we were drinking. We were in California, Lancaster or Palmdale, California. I think it was Lancaster.
Right. Before you continue, just some context. You toured a bit when you were in one of your old bands.
Yes.
Yeah, because they won't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he toured the U.S. for a bit.
So yeah, like I remember this in California, I tried orange Smirnoff vodka for the first time, and
Sounds good.
yeah, I mean I've had vodka before, but this was like orange flavored Smirnoff vodka, and the shots just kept coming and coming, and at that time I remember thinking like, yeah, I'm from Texas, like drink up pussies, like that kind of thing.
Drinking Southern Comfort or something.
Yeah, okay. So we killed the bottle of Smirnoff vodka, and I don't like vodka because
I hate the flavor. It's gross.
I didn't mind it, but it's true what they say. It really does sneak up on you.
Oh,
because I did feel good, and maybe it just snuck up on me. Let's just say that. And yeah, and then all of a sudden, we killed the bottle, and Daniel? Well, I don't remember the name. It doesn't matter. He comes up, and big dude shows up with a bottle of Southern Comfort. All right, guys, we're still going. Like, okay, yeah, I'll pour you a shot, that kind of thing. And it kept going. And then somewhere around the way, man, I sat down, and all of a sudden I just felt everything start to spin this way, man, and I just, just sat there, and, good buddy Ernie comes up to me like, hey, ¿estás bien, güey? ¿Estás bien? Like, yeah, man, fuck yeah, I'm good.
Bell.
He was a designated driver, so he was watching out, so he was taking it easy watching us.
I always make sure to have a DD.
Yeah.
That was the one thing. Like, I would get messed up,
we
but
needed one.
I always made sure we had a DD.
Yeah.
So drink responsibly.
But the rest of us, we were getting hammered, dude, and it just went on and on and on, and I think we partied till like 8:30 in the morning or something like that.
God,
it was horrible. I went to bed, and I woke up the next day with my first hangover.
Ooh,
and
that's gotta be fun,
dude. Like I had never experienced a hangover, and I would take pride, before that, with not waking up with hangover. Because I mean, we used to drink pretty heavily, but for some reason that night or that next morning
was the
time that I woke up with a hangover, and I was just thinking like, what is this? And
I think I'm pretty sick.
Yeah.
That was me with my first hangover. I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I think I'm sick, and she's like, no, estás crudo.
Yeah, like, okay, so I remember, we woke up, and I went to take a shower, and I felt terrible, and then, the guy's like, hey,
good job.
¿Qué onda, güey? Que la chica, like, how are you feeling? I feel good, dude, and all right, man, pack your shit up. We got to go to Vegas. What? That's today? Like, yeah, dude, we got to go to Vegas, or we're going to Vegas. And it's not that far of a drive. It's a drive from California to Nevada, but it's doable,
Yeah,
in like a couple hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And we loaded up this 15-passenger van that we had. We took out we had the two front seats, which was the driver passenger, but then we had the seat that was immediately behind.
Mm-hmm.
We had one more, and then the rest was open space, so we threw mattresses back there.
Oh, nice.
And I remember the ride over there was just horrible.
Because you can feel every little bump.
Yes, and I remember we got in, and the guy's like, "What? Wait, we're gonna go downstairs." I'm like, "No, I'm not, dude. I think we stayed at the first hotel that we stayed at was Whiskey Pete's. I think that's what it was called. It had a roller coaster outside.
Oh, nice.
It was a nice hotel, and that was the first night. And I remember going to bed. We went out and about, and I tried to enjoy it, but the whole day, dude, I was just not feeling. I have pictures of that. I will show you. I'll send you.
Send them over
so you could see where I'm just like, you could see it in my face where I'm just like I just want to die. I'm not good right now, dude. Like, I am not. So for those 3 days that we were in Nevada, I had hangovers. It was just one giant hangover. I just did not drink. I didn't want to have a cigarette.
But beer makes it go away.
Well, I didn't feel good. Fuck.
I'm just saying,
like,
if you keep on drinking, it'll go away.
I didn't want. I mean, I just. I learned my lesson for like a month. Where like it took me a while to come back around to have some. Wait, but I thought I was bien chingón, the other day, but I just. Yeah, and I remember, my buddy's like, "Órale, güey." We were at the New York. Oh my god. He's like, "Órale, güey, let's get on the roller coaster because they have a roller coaster on the New York.
Is that the one that's on the roof? Is that a different one?
It goes up. It goes through the hotel and stuff like that. And it comes out and it goes around the building.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Whiskey Pete's was the same way. There's other ones that have like the roller coasters that, like, what is it, the Stratosphere? I think that's what it's called.
I've seen one that's on the roof and like it stops outside of the roof, so you just like
you're hanging off.
Yeah, you just see like a pitfall, and it's like all like
they have a couple of those. Like they have one that just kind of tips over. They have a couple rides on, and I think that's the Stratosphere if I'm not mistaken. But I think that's what it's called. Anyways, so yeah, that was horrible for me, man. I didn't feel good at all.
I had one experience that I got really drunk, and again it was with my family. I think it was like on Christmas, and I was hanging out with one of my primos, and like whenever we get together, like me and him just normally get like super plastered. And then his dad owns like a carniceria and stuff like that, and he would do barbacoa in the morning. So he goes over to my house in Camargo, and he's like, "Ándale, primo, que vamos pa acá y pa allá." And I was like, "Dude, like I can't, like I'm super sick. I had to just like finish throwing up." And in the restroom, he's like, aguántame. So he leaves, and literally 3 houses from my house, there's a little corner store. So he goes and he comes back with this little bottle of Pedialyte.
Okay.
The one for the babies or something.
Yeah.
He gives me that, dude. That was like God's gift to men and hangovers. Like that. It was like I remember drinking it, and it was the first liquid that I could drink that did not upset my stomach, because it's heavier or something, and it made my thirst go away because it's supposed to rehydrate you because it has like a bunch of salt in it. I don't know how that works.
Electrolytes, man.
Yeah, so like it made me feel so much better. But I remember like going from like, oh God kill me now, I hate my life, I'm never drinking again, to hey, I feel good, let's go grab a beer in maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hour period.
That was not me, dude. Like I just
I had that with did you? Oh no, you did. Remember when I used to drink Reds a lot?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went through a phase where I would drink nothing but Reds, but my body does not like Reds. So they're the one beer that every time that I would drink, I would get super sick and I would just throw up like a madman. Every single time. Like there's not one time that I got drunk off Reds that I did not throw up. Like my body, I don't know if it was the sugar or what was it about it. My body could just not handle it whatsoever. And that's because, I used to drink a bunch of Budweiser, and Budweiser's just as strong. It's just that it's not flavored. And I would drink like a 12-pack of Budweiser, and I would have like a hangover or whatever, but I'd be fine. With Reds, it was like, hey, look, you've been asleep for an hour. Time for you to wake up. You gotta do your nightly puking. And I would just be there like, oh God. And then my sister would like wake up and she would like, ¿Estás bien? No, I need to die.
Yeah, dude.
No te pasa nada, papelero.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, this was like our first go-arounds of drinking, so we didn't know any better what we were in for in the future. But I
had my sister. My sister guided me. She's like, okay, this is what happens when you get drunk. This is what you need to do so you don't get a hangover, kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't have that, dude. Or we just kind of went for it and just learned our lessons as we went. And I remember thinking like, I remember thinking I didn't want to drink again, and like you mentioned earlier, whenever you see a certain alcohol, you just immediately feel.
Yeah, like nope.
Whenever I see a bottle of fucking orange Smirnoff vodka, I'm fucking out.
That's me with
bottle of Southern Comfort. Fuck you, I'm out. Like
That's me with Reds now, and I always get it wrong. Is it Everclear?
That's a pretty heavy.
Okay, that's the other. Okay, the reason why I hate Everclear because I took a shot of that. Felt like fire, almost threw up, holded it, went back down, and I could feel the combination of throw up and Everclear going back down my throat, and it burned again the second time. Yeah. It was just terrible. But let's take a real quick break, and I'll mention a fun story that happened to me here in the front porch once. All right, there you go. So I have one fun story that happened here in my house. Because there was a time that I used to hang out with some other friends from the other side of town that they weren't really like into any of this, like they weren't into like metal or anything like that, but they were very into drinking. So we would hang out here, and this was like the hangout spot because my mom would never get, she didn't.
Yeah, your mom's real chill.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, as long as you guys are being safe and you have like a driver, you guys can drink or whatever. So one of my friends had met this dude in SEC. And she wanted to to date the guy or whatever. She was interested in the guy, and we'll call him Danny, right? First thing that came to my head. So this guy comes over, and it's 5 of us. So it's me, my buddy Alvaro, 2 friends of mine, so which are girls, and that guy who we're gonna be calling Danny. So the guy gets here, and he's like super big shot. He's like, no hombre, que I always drink like a lot, and I can drink like a 12-pack with my family and with my friends, and I'm like nothing. Like the guy was like talking some crazy talk, and we're like, okay, all right, well we'll see how tough you are. So we bought a bunch of beer, dude. Mainly because me and my buddy Albert used to drink a lot back in the day. Well, mainly me. He wouldn't really drink much beer. So we're hanging out here in the front patio or side patio, I guess. And the guy's maybe like 6 beers in, and he's already starting to like slur a bit. And you're like, you don't drink as much as you say you do. But and also my friend that was trying to get with him, she had to leave. So she's like, hey, you know what? I have to go. So we went from 5 of us to just 4 of us. So then the guy, the more he drank, like the worse he got. And then, like, at one point, like, he starts to get like real nasty and stuff like that. So he was starting to annoy me.
Those are annoying.
Yeah. So then he's like, hey, man, I need to go to the restroom. I was like, you know what? Go to the one down the hall. Goes to the restroom. He's in there for a while. Finally comes back out. And, like, he chills with us for maybe, like, another 5-10 minutes. And then he sends up from the columpio. And then I noticed that the middle portions of his jeans is, like, just dark blue. And I'm like... He pissed himself. He pissed himself. Like there's no way around that guy. And I was like, huh. He is literally piss drunk. And I didn't want the guy to leave because he was like super drunk. And he was like, no, que ya me voy a ir and this and that. And I was like, no, dude, you know what? We'll drive you home. And he just would not let us take him home. Like he thought, well, okay, he wanted to drive. It took us maybe like another 20 minutes to convince him to call like a friend of his to come pick him up. Yeah, and I think like 2 of them came in. So one took his car and he left with the other one. But holy shit, dude. I remember that was the first time when I actually experienced an annoying person. Yeah. And then I was like, am I like that? I really hope that I'm not that guy. So then after that, I became super self-conscious when it came to my drinking. So whenever I get drunk, which is rare now, it has to be around people that like I really trust. Yeah. And even then, I'm always thinking about like, okay, what am I doing? Am I acting stupid? Yeah. Oh wait, am I acting stupid now? And because I mean, I've done some pretty funny things when I'm drunk. I ran around without a shirt during one of Georgie's parties. Yeah. I forgot. I think it was like Halloween or something.
That's usually when that. Yeah. That sounds about right.
And another buddy of ours was playing by himself. So we were like, me and another friend took off our shirts. We started to run in the middle with like a shirt down, going like, "Whoa!" And everybody was like, "What the hell is going on?" Until people started to join us because we do what we do.
We had a New Year's party at my house in 2004, 2005, and. Or 05, 06. And I had an experience like that where a guy was just like...
Annoying drunk?
Yeah, but he was also like... You didn't really expect it from this guy, especially with the game that he would talk, that too. Like, hey, bien chingón.
I drink a 12-pack by myself.
Yeah. And I'll talk about another story about with that guy. I won't mention his name. I won't even, but we're good friends now, like really, really good friends. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I remember, he went to the house and it was New Year's and we were hanging out. We were getting buzzed. My whole family showed up. It had been years that all of my brothers and sisters had gotten together, and the whole band was there, and then our friends were there. It's like every party finished and those people came to my house.
So your place was the after party.
Yeah, basically, and it
Okay.
just people came in and were coming in and coming in and coming in and coming in and coming in, and then beer, more alcohol.
Oh.
My buddy showed up with a fucking pata elefante or whatever.
I don't even know what that is. This sounds terrifying.
I think that's what it's called. It's just this giant like gallon thing
of just like pure alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyways, we were drinking it, and I was doing my stuff with my friends, and he stayed behind, and he was kind of hanging out with my family, and my mom and dad were just listening to him, and I didn't know this yet, like I was just doing my thing, and I went to go sit down, and we all came in, and we all just started hanging out, and he just started like, if anybody were to hurt him, Mr. Garza, I'd take care of it. Don't worry, like. And then my dad's just like, okay, like, and
cool.
my mom was like, okay, mijo, like that's cool, and he's just, I love him, and like he's just real,
yeah,
like you could tell, like he
was
dude,
over,
like, yeah, and I'm just like, what anyway, like that's cool, man, like, yeah, fucking hey, I didn't give a shit, I was being a host, I guess.
Yeah.
And before I know it, man, he was wearing like a regular shirt, and before I knew it, I turned around, maybe like 5 minutes later, he was in a muscle shirt, and just a white muscle shirt, and he's just sitting there, and he's just doing this, kind of head bobbing and stuff like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, well, whatever. I still have people.
Yeah, and we had to take care of.
And my mom's like, Santiago, cuida tu amigo. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
throw him in the shower.
He's just there. Like, he's not.
Yeah, he's asleep. He's not bothering anyone.
He's not running around. And then, we, all of my sister, my brothers, we're all having conversations, and my friends are having conversations with them, and we're watching him.
Yeah.
And he's just.
Yeah,
he starts to do this number, and he starts puking on his shirt, and it's white, and he starts puking this gnarly yellow color, and my mom's like, mira, chingada, like, the mom comes out, and I'm just like, oh fuck, and nobody panicked. It was just like, oh shit,
he's just really drunk. Let him.
Mom disappears. She comes back with a fucking manguera, way, and starts fucking hosing him down, dude. Like, just. Yeah, se quedó el güey, and you just stayed there. And I remember telling my buddies, like, hey man, like, well, fuck it, let's go put him inside, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do.
He's a big son of a bitch, man. So we picked him up, and we had not to be assholes, but we could not lift him. We had
done the finger thing that you...
we had to drag him, dude.
Shit.
We drug him in. We threw him on the couch. We made sure that he was in a position that would not compromise him.
Not face up. Gotta be on the side or whatever.
We laid him out, and we put like towels to make sure if he puked, it wouldn't stain the couch. And we didn't think anything of it, or we just, we did, we cared.
Yeah.
But we put him inside, but we left him there.
Yeah, you didn't worry that he was gonna die. That's what you're getting at.
And the party went on, man. I remember we went to bed, and we woke up like around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. 4, we go downstairs because a couple friends of mine stayed with me. We go downstairs, and we're like, hey man, where's Aquel?
He's asleep.
Yeah, well, so we get downstairs, and my grandma is like, Santiago, se fue tu amigo el que se durmió en the couch, en el sofá, and I was like,
oh shit.
Oh, okay, yeah, and apparently she tried offering him breakfast, but he just woke up and cut tail and run. Yeah, like he's gone.
Pobrecito.
I did not hear back from this guy for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, he's probably embarrassed.
I bumped into him at Walmart, like, dude, what's up, man? Like,
where you been after my couch?
Yeah, and it was just a real quick, short conversation. It was a, hi, bye, that kind of thing, real quick catch up, and vámonos. But yeah, he was one of those guys, man, where talked to just
bad game and then came out short.
Yeah, and maybe he was just drinking really fast or something like that. But yeah, it just did not end pretty. But I remember a lot of his story. I'll go back and I'll talk about that with my friends that were there. I'm like, oh yeah, fucking.
Is that the reason why I'm not allowed to go to your house?
No, I just haven't had people over at my house.
For you just hate your friends,
basically.
That reminds me, dude. We have one story with my old friends. The ones I was talking about earlier. It's called the pink paste story. Okay.
Yeah.
We call it the pink paste because again, we're here. We're getting super drunk, and one of my friends had Subway before coming over, right? And apparently that was like the only thing that he had eaten. He had been like drinking more than the rest of us. So he's in my room, and he's kind of just sitting down on my bed, and he's leaning over like this, right? And I'm like, that's not a good sign. So then I see him starting to go like, and I was like, oh. So I run back to the kitchen to try to grab a bag. So by the time that I get back to him, he had already thrown up like once, and it's like this little pile of like pink paste with like little black dots because apparently he had olives. So it was like pink paste and olives, and then like I'm just there with a plastic Walmart bag under his head while he's just like puking his guts out. So he finally gets rid of everything in his body, and he goes to the restroom, I guess, because he's still like throwing up, and he just stays in the he just fell asleep in the restroom, and since he locked it, like we hadn't even noticed how long he had been in there until like an hour or two passed, and we're like, hey, wait. Está todo no salido, so then we knock and he's like, what? So I said, God. But I think that was the last time that we hung out at my place that we got seriously drunk. Because after that, everybody kind of just went their own way. We were going to college, so half of them moved over to Edinburgh, so we started to party in Edinburgh instead of partying here. But man, a part of me still misses that a lot. I wish I could do that again. And then now I'm on vacations. And I'm a boring adult, so I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay home and do nothing.
That's basically how it happened for me. Like the friends that I grew up with, and that my parents knew. Once we moved out and like started, going to college and stuff like that, and I was out and about, doing my stuff on the road. That was the last time I had like friends, party like that and stuff, and go to the house especially.
Yeah. I mean, same here. Like, nobody comes here anymore except for, like, you. And, I mean, like, nobody has been here in, like, a good while, man.
So, for a change of scenery, maybe we can shoot, like, a podcast there at my house or something like that, but...
I'm gonna do a vlog. First time at Chago's house. I mean, like, Facebook Live!
Yeah, like, okay, so, yeah, like, I'm actually, taking care of my mom's kitchen. We put up some new cabinets, and we're gonna redo a lot of, I guess, renovating the house and stuff like that. So once that's done, yeah, we could definitely hang out downstairs and do stuff. But yeah, dude, I mean, we definitely do that.
That works for me. So maybe sometime in the future,
maybe
Chavo will be in Chavo's house.
I'll show you guys all my guitars and all that stuff or something. And
your giant you have so many guitars that don't fit in your bed. Because that picture you put
there was actually
that picture had guitars in the background. Yeah. They were not in your bed.
Those are just like more of my...
I counted 9 guitars in your bed.
There's more than that. Oh, that I have. But yeah, like those are the ones that I guess I use the most and have a lot of value to me. So
just so people know, you have over 9 guitars. And you're going to borrow one of mine because you don't have enough.
And technically that one was mine, but I sold it to you.
Yes.
So, yeah. My birthday just passed, so I might buy another one. I might.
You literally just bought one.
Shut up, man.
like, was it this month that you got it? When did we start the first episode? Yeah, you just got it like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think you have a problem.
Nah, dude.
You can stop whenever you want to?
Yeah. Yeah, I can stop whenever I want to. Just like the way I'm about to stop this podcast and go.
Alright. All I'm saying is quitting is for losers. So
I'm not quitting, I'm just taking a break. There's a difference. We'll be back next week.
We will be back next week, whenever that next week is. Well, while we're there, I guess we should be wrapping it up. We've been on the air for a while.
So I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so we can get back together again. And
okay, yeah, because I'm off all of this week. So you're off when?
I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're off the weekend.
Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be free the weekend again because I have nothing to do.
Great.
I don't go back till next Monday. Guys, shameless plug. Make sure to follow us at Tequila in the Jarro in Facebook, Instagram. Visit us in our website at intothejarro.com. And we also have a Twitter. I forgot what our Twitter's called. But I think it's called In Tequila. If I'm like, it was one of those random Twitter
just
handles.
Put up a link to it or something.
Yeah, I'll post it up somewhere here. I think it's like In Tequila, and it's the logo of our little jar, so you can't miss it. Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
Love you guys.
Laters.